one day and put it down the next day. If you do it, you have to commit for an entire year.
After about 1 week, Angela already regretted her choice of the French horn, as it was a heavy and difficult instrument for her.
But I had promised my mother that I would stick to it for 1 year, and my mother reminded me that regardless of how hard it was, that was the deal we made, and that I had to see it through.
Now, as the vice chairman of her father's company, Angela has taken responsibility of the daily operations of the business. Just like her sisters, she graduated from Harvard University. And what's more, she finished her undergraduate degree in just 3 years with great honor.
My parents never said that getting into Harvard was success. They were proud that I went to a good school, but what was most important to them was an education. So, the Harvard degree was never the end. It was just the beginning.
At the age of 51, having seen all her kids grow up, Ruth decided to study at St. John's University for a master's degree in Asian studies. And it surprised everyone.
我也劝他不必了，要跟普通的小孩子在一起竞争。我说我们都劝他，可是他非常介意，他说我可以做。
有一次他下雪，你知道吗？到那个教室啊，就他一个学生，老师也没来，他又开回去。
With her determination and perseverance, Ruth graduated in 1983 with honors.
And I think one of the greatest things about her time here is that she would sit in the classrooms and study with students who were in their 20s. And she was a little older than that as a mother of the girls, and would just fit right in and yet have a great influence on her fellow students. So the way I would put it is when she was a student, she was also a teacher, because she was also teaching them day after day.
Homeland is an idea that lived in the hearts of Ruth and James. As early as 1972, James came back to see his mother, whom he had not seen for 23 years. After that, Ruth and James would bring their daughters back to China one by one to see their homeland. In the early 1980s, James began to consider commissioning ships to be built in Shanghai. In 1987, he met his alumnus, Pan Zhengxi, who was senior vice president of China's State Shipbuilding Corporation.
1987年的9月份，当时呢，我率领了中国的选拔工业代表团到那个美国去访问，在纽约，我跟赵先生第一次见面，他就跟我谈起，他们很需要外面人去投资，那么那个时候我的董事都感觉到冒险太大，因为不晓得怎么样的情况。可是我跟我太太一谈了之后，她是绝对支持。她说：“你念书不是希望替国家服务吗？这个时候，这是你应该挺身而出，要支持的时候。所以呢，她说你去，我陪你一起去。”
In 1989, Ruth went with James to Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Beijing, visiting the shipbuilding factories.
那么通过他这些带我们中国实地看了以后呢，很快就跟我们的港内造渔厂就订了2条6万4千吨的巴拿马型那个沙湖船。那么赵先生这样向我们订阅这种举动呢，应该就是带我们当时这个中国雪豹工业总公司是雪中送炭。
Ruth believed strongly in giving back to society. In the 1980s, she started an education foundation to support students in China.
木兰奖学金它跟中国的高等航海教育发展是联系在一起的。80年代的时候呢，我们国家刚刚改革开放，真是百废待兴。但是我们董事长的夫人那个时候就想到，要支持 中国的航海教育的发展。
In the past 20 years, more than 5,000 students have benefited from this scholarship to pursue and achieve their dreams.
My parents started this scholarship to help students, but it was also about just being a nice person. You know, like my parents always said, you know, when you go into a room, it's your job to make that room a nicer place.
Even after Ruth passed away, the Chao family kept on this philanthropy cause in Ruth's name to help more students in China.
已经1年了，是不是？
对，时间过得好快啊！
对。
呀，他们把这个 building 保持得很好啊。呀，Ruth Mulan Chu Chao Center， 因为要alma mater。
Yes。
呀，这个就好了，是吧
Right。
我想这个不计就可以达到这个目的了。Good, good, good. Really good.
It was my privilege to serve as Ruth Mulan Chu Chao's pastor for over 15 years. It is an honor to share my thoughts about such an extraordinary woman. Through Ruth and her family, many of us have gained a deeper appreciation of the wealth of Chinese culture, dedication to hard work, loyalty, education, and most importantly, appreciation for the Lord's blessing and courageous trust in God in the midst of adversity.
Because I know my mom is in heaven laughing because she sees what I'm going through, and I know she's saying to herself, that's what I went through with you.
所以我今天跟你们这个录音，他如果在天上知道我了，他一定在骂我，你在胡说八道什么？因为他是一个你不要跟我乱讲的，一定会这样讲。
当时年轻很口拙，心里面想说谢谢二姐，谢谢你对我的照应，可是一直没有出口。今天我想利用这个机会，很慎重地讲一句：二姐，我谢谢你。
She'd always end the letter like, you're such a lucky girl.
Mom, you are a fantastic mother. You should take credit. Next time someone says, you're a really good mother, you should say, thank you. I knew my mother would never say that because she's so modest and humble.
木兰，请你相信我，我会一生潜心的爱护你。